Trigger warning, a stereotypical taxi driver, because you can also pass for a stereotypical Indian dude. Dude, it's funny. I'm not Indian. I am Latino. But people think I'm Indian so much. It's crazy. Just because we're brown. Like, I don't know why. I've had, I don't think I've ever told this before. But when I was starting out my YouTube a long time ago, I had this guy who was commenting on my videos a lot, calling me a terrorist and shit. He was like, "You're a terrorist, go back to your country," all this kind of shit. And I kind of got a little bit of dose of like what Indian people go through in America, especially down around that time, right? Like it was, I mean, 2001 happened while I was in high school. No, middle school. I was in middle school. I was in 8th grade when 9/11 happened. And I started, 2012? So you're talking about 11 years later, and people were still fucking upset about that. Like, there's some people that just haven't gotten over 9/11, and they just they want an excuse to hate Indian people, or just foreign people in general. And I got told that, and it was funny, because I would talk shit to this guy. Arabs, too. Yeah. And, yeah, sorry, I guess it's... I mean, I feel like the average dumb American that would hate somebody from a foreign country just groups, like, Indians, Arabs, everybody together. Like, anybody from the Middle East, they're just like, they're all the same. That's kind of how those kind of people think. Because, I mean, they're grouping Latinos... they're just grouping brown people into it, which I think is really dumb. And, anyways, I would talk shit to this guy, right? And it's funny, I've learned so much over my time on the internet. I've gotten really good. Like, I know a lot of people think, they're like, oh, there goes Juice, he's ranting about something, or Juice is, he's talking shit again. I've gotten really good at, like, just letting stuff go or not talking to people. Like, there are some times I'll just leave a conversation. And again, I'll let people, I don't care if people think they won the conversation or whatever. But, dude, like, I used to just argue with everybody. Everybody. And, like, I'd be like, oh, fuck you, or I'd talk shit, or I'd be, like, sarcastic or whatever. But this guy that was calling me a terrorist or whatever when I was first doing YouTube, I would make jokes about him, I would talk shit or whatever, and then, like, he just kept doing it, like, for a long time. And these people don't have, like, they have all the time in the world. So eventually, you're like, am I gonna just do this for the next, like, few years? Like, this is gonna be kind of ridiculous. And then one day, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look this guy up, because this guy was kind of dumb. I think he didn't know how the internet works, and he was using his real name on YouTube. Like, because I don't know if you guys don't know that, but sometimes, like, if you use an email with your personal information, you create a whole new, like, YouTube account, it uses your name, or it uses the name you put on that email. And I guess this guy didn't know that. And so I searched up his name, and he was using his profile photo that was connected to his Facebook. So I found his name, I found his Facebook, and then I looked through all of his Facebook, and it just made me sad. Because it was like a dude that I think was probably in the military back in the day. He's probably not, he wasn't in it anymore. He wasn't in good shape. He was like a big dude, you know, kind of like beer belly. He had like some kind of like depressing stuff on his page. And I was just like, I just felt sad, dude. I felt bad for that guy, because I was like, oh, his life's probably not going well right now. And he's probably just lashing out at me. So I just never talked to him again after that. I think I might have blocked him, or I might have muted him, just so he could kind of like stop the process as well. And if he needed to think that he beat me and that he won, I'm totally cool with it. Because I saw his life and I was just like, oh, it's not going great. So, yeah. And you know what? That's why I just kind of let people win, man. Because I think people project a lot, and they talk a lot of shit online because their lives aren't great. And sometimes I'm just like, you know what? That's fine. Good approach. Yeah, I mean, dude, you can waste so much time fighting people online. So I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, hey, bro, I'm just not going to talk to you anymore. And people are going to think like, oh, yeah, Juice fucking sucks because he can't take criticism. I'm like, no, dude, like, you just don't realize what you're doing.